Hello, and welcome back to Golfing Made Simple, an endless journey to discover simple truths in golf and life. If you've joined us for our first few episodes, we tried to get across the point that the golf swing doesn't have to be so complicated. It's in essence a rotation around the body, arms extending, simple as that, just at a slightly bent over position at address. And then emphasizing that we're using centrifugal force and gravity, not our muscles, to rotate and bring the club head through. So now we're going to go into some of the specific fundamentals, and we're going to start with the grip, because the grip is probably the most important aspect of the swing because it's connecting us to the club itself. Now, on our channel here, we try to have simplicity in everything that we do. So at its basic level, the grip, we want to have balance. We want to bring both sides together, and without being too philosophical, we're bringing together the left side and the right side for a common purpose, common vision, and it's as though we're putting our hands together in prayer here. All right, they're meeting at the center, coming together as one unit. We want that balance. So we're going to start with our left hand grip, and the grip itself is going to run diagonally under the pinky, okay, and between the pad on our palm here, and it's going to run up through the index finger, again on a diagonal line. Fits right in that crease there below the pinky, right up to the index finger. And then the thumb essentially goes on top down the shaft. Doesn't have to be exactly on top, but more or less on top of the shaft. Once we have that in place, then we go to our right hand. Our right hand, it's almost like a puzzle piece. You'll see if you bend your thumb down, you'll form a little pocket which will go right over top of your left thumb. It's almost like they were made to fit together. Then the right thumb goes on top of the grip. It may be angled slightly because it's coming in from this right hand side, but it's essentially on top with a little angle towards the left. Now, here's where we get into a few options. Some people prefer a baseball grip. All of your fingers are on the grip. Some have a interlocking grip where the pinky of the right hand interlocks with the index finger of the left hand in that manner. And perhaps most popular is the overlap, where the pinky of the right hand fits right in between here, between the index and the middle finger of the left hand. That's also called the Varden grip for the golfer who was credited with popularizing that grip. So we put those things together, they fit together just like a glove. Now a couple other variations that there can be, we're for simplicity and having those hands come straight together as we talked about initially. But there are variations, and some people can be very successful by turning both hands this way to my left. That is called a weak grip. And others turn both hands somewhat to the right, and that would be considered a strong grip. You can be successful with those grips, but you likely have to make other compensations in your swing to have a successful, consistent swing. So I would strongly recommend that you start with a neutral grip, which again is a hands coming together grip. Now you'll notice that you have what they call V's that form between your thumb and your index finger, and you want to have that V, that crease, pointing up towards your chin or your right ear or your right shoulder, somewhere in this type of line, no farther than that. And then another key thing that I forgot to mention with the right hand is you almost want to make that right index finger like a question mark, because it needs to slide somewhat down the club, all right, so that those two can come together, so that that thumb and index finger actually do meet up together. All right, so again, back to our first principle, we don't want to be too far to the left, a weak grip. We don't want to be too far to the right, a strong grip. We want to be pretty neutral, thumbs pointing essentially down the shaft. We've got the left hand in that little fold between the pinky and the heel pad, fitting in there, running diagonally into the index finger. On the right hand, we've got that pocket that's made right here that perfectly covers that left thumb. I recommend the overlap grip, putting that right pinky right in between the left index and middle finger, having the rest of the right hand grip in the fingers, not in the palm, in the fingers, making that index finger a little question mark, bringing those together so you have some joining between the index finger and the thumb, and that V coming up towards my chin, right ear area. And from there, you should have a solid grip. We don't want too much pressure. We don't want tension in our swing. We want a tension-free swing, so you hold it firmly, but not tightly. Okay, so don't put a lot of pressure on the grip. You want to allow it to swing loosely and freely. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.